Welcome to the College Investor Audio Show, where we talk about the biggest issues impacting millennial money, from student loan debt to side hustles to building wealth. We will show you how to get out of debt so that you can build real wealth for the future.
Hello, welcome to the College Investor Audio Show. Today we ask and answer, do your taxes need a second look? Over the past several years, we've seen a boom in tax software companies offering second looks for tax filers. Now, these second look programs allow filers to have a tax professional review their tax return before the filer submits it. While these programs sound really good, they're typically just marketing gimmicks designed to get nervous filers to pay more. Here's what you need to know. What is a second look tax filing? So first of all, a second look means a tax professional will review your return after you've already prepared it. As a filer, you will use tax software to prepare your tax return. This involves gathering all the correct documentation and following the workflows to input information appropriately. Once you've completed preparing your tax return, a tax professional, typically an enrolled agent, will review your return for errors. They will catch mathematical errors, glaring omissions from your return, and any personal information that may have been incorrectly entered. If the enrolled agent spots an issue, they will provide feedback to you so you can correct the issue on your own. Second look agreements vary by company, as some allow users to ask specific tax-related questions, such as whether they entered certain information correctly. Others have the tax professional review the return without input from the filer. What are the most common tax errors? The second set of eyes on a tax return sounds valuable. After all, the frequent tax law changes have led to increases in the number of taxpayers filing amended returns. Like 3.5 million were filed in 2019. However, it may be useful to focus on the types of errors that plague most tax filers and to understand which ones a second review could fix. According to the IRS, these are the most common errors. Issues with tax status. Single, head of household, married filing separately. Figuring out your status can be a challenge. Thankfully, good tax software makes figuring out the status easier than the relationship status on Facebook. Information about dependents. Correctly filing dependent information can be a challenge, especially for those with unrelated dependents. Again, this is an area where good software can help. Correctly attaching forms. If you're doing taxes by hand, it can be easy to forget which forms to add. Thankfully, good tax software figures out what forms to attach. You just follow the workflow. Math errors. Figuring out the appropriate ways to calculate credits, deductions, income, expenses can be a challenge. Once again, high-quality tax software solves this issue. Issues copying information. Adding too many zeros, omitting a negative sign, or superimposing digits can lead to incorrect tax filing. The best way to avoid this type of error is to have a computer algorithm handle it for you. Unfortunately, most tax software only enables this type of algorithm for W-2 forms and potentially certain 1099 forms. A CPA or enrolled agent who does taxes for you may be more careful. A second look reviewer will catch most of those errors, but they cannot catch issues with copying data. However, the reviewer will only catch the issues because the software will flag the issues for the filer. This limits how much value a second look reviewer can actually add. High-quality software prevents most tax errors. In the past, tax software was really difficult to use, and only people who were trained on the software could use it effectively. That's just not the case anymore. Just about anyone, including first-time tax filers, can avoid errors simply by using high-quality tax software. In the past few years, we've ranked TurboTax, TaxSlayer, H&R Block as some of the best software filing programs because they're intuitive and designed for regular humans, not CPAs. Using the program as intended will allow, even force, you to avoid the most common errors, as defined by the IRS. If you use any highly ranked software program, you can avoid the math errors that are easy to make with pen and paper filing. These programs also make it easy to select the right dependent status for children, select the right filing status, and more. So unless you put in your numbers wrong, you'll avoid the most common tax filing mistakes. If you do input your numbers wrong, a second look review isn't likely to catch it. Typically, these reviewers look for glaring omissions in your filing. So for example, if you enter information about a rental property but don't add depreciation, a second look reviewer may catch that. But if you forget to add expenses from a side business, a second look reviewer is less likely to catch that one. Complex filing situations need more than a second look. Tax software can handle most complex tax filing situations, but entering large amounts of data can become cumbersome. And if you have a very complex tax filing situation, mainstream tax software probably isn't going to be a good fit for you anyway. But a second look isn't going to deliver the value you need either. Tax filers with complex situations may find that a tax preparation service delivers a really good value. A dedicated CPA can think critically about the documents you provide and ask for specific omissions. Even if you prefer a DIY approach to tax filing, you might want to take advantage of programs that allow you to consult with a tax professional during tax prep. Many companies allow users to consult with an enrolled agent or CPA during tax preparation. They can ask specific questions and get guidance from professionals. This allows the tax filer to correctly prepare their return. The in-progress advice from tax professionals seems like a more valuable option than a second look when the work is already done. Second looks, a high-cost security blanket. Occasionally, an online tax prep company will offer a second look as an early filing incentive. Those who qualify for the incentive should actually take advantage of that. The second set of eyes won't hurt, and it could provide a sense of peace. However, the second look from a professional often costs as much as the tax software you use to prepare the return. In that case, a second look becomes an expensive security blanket. It adds little value because tax software is already designed to limit your ability to make mistakes. In most cases, if you pay for a second look, it's not going to be worth the money. Either use high-quality tax software or just hire a firm to file taxes for you. Both options work, and both deliver more value than a second look. I hope that was helpful. We just really want to avoid you paying for more stuff than you need. So please share this with somebody else too if you think it will be helpful to them. And thanks so much for stopping by to the College Investor Audio Show today. If you want to find out more about tax programs, we have an unbelievable amount of in-depth reviews on pretty much every software out there on the market. Please take a look at it at thecollegeinvestor.com.